Hey, I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and this is the Dennis Kirk Garage Build Rideaway FXR Evolution. This is a 1988 FXR that we started with for this incredible build. I think the most difficult part of this is, I'm not a builder, in the traditional sense. I've been a garage guy my whole life, so when we had the opportunity to build this bike, the perspective that we set down was to build it as a garage builder would, so I'm 20 or more motorcycles into my builds now, so I had to strip away some of the, if I want to do a wider wheel, I would just cut things out of the way. I didn't want to do as much of that. So what we laid down as our starting point was, let's say that we were a guy that this year what I could really afford for as far as a budget for my build would be these wheels. Not letting the fact that all I had money for were the wheels stop me from doing an incredible motorcycle. So when we went through this thing, rather than just grabbing parts and throwing money at it and top shelf of everything else we were kind of a little frugal about. We got a front end that we got from Facebook Marketplace, and and used a lot of parts, maybe some in their intended purpose, some that we modified to fit the build, and the gas tank was one of the most significant things that I did next to the side covers. Obviously, maybe you guys saw the video of the side covers. We made the side covers from scratch out of flat steel. There was a lot of fabrication. Early on, I said that was gonna be my piece, like I wasn't gonna go crazy with fabrication on everything else, but I was gonna take one piece and really make the bike, develop its personality around that. 25 years now I've been doing Cycle Source Magazine, and every time I approach a project I learn more stuff. And one of the things you have to learn early on is you can do anything that you want to with a motorcycle. If you don't have the skills yourself, someone down the street knows it. This is a perfect example. They don't make the Arlen S Big Sucker to fit on an Evo with an S&S carburetor. I have a machinist friend that lives down the street from me. When I have a really hard project, I literally take the parts to him and I say, hey, I have this idea of something I want to do. So maybe it's $100 or $200, you know what I mean, that I pay him to do that stuff for me. You don't have to do every single thing yourself, but seeing an idea like that come to fruition, and the fact, again, this motorcycle has a personality now, because this is not something you're going to see on any other bike. You're not going to see an S&S carburetor with this air cleaner on it, because we had a piece specifically made for it. The biggest shout out I want to give to two companies, Kelly Quinn from Arlen Ness, Saddleman Seats also. Saddleman literally made this seat for this motorcycle, so big props out to them. But a lot of the rest of it, I mean, it's here in this room. There were a lot of challenges in this. That's the nature of being a garage guy, a tinkerer. You look for those challenges. Like, I look for opportunities. If you look at the brakes on this bike, they're takeoff brakes from a 2004 Sportster. To look at them at first glance, you almost can't tell the difference between them and the Performance Machine ones. Same style, but these ones I got from somebody that didn't want them on a stock Harley. I got them for $100, and I had to modify the rear bracket and do a couple things, but that's where it's really at for a garage builder, accepting those challenges. Biggest challenge on this bike was not doing too much. We got the opportunity to do this build, and it really wasn't so much about a challenge to see what we could come up with, or what we could come up with even out of this room. It was really about the celebration of the garage builder. That's one of the things that brought Cycle Source Magazine together with Dennis Kirk, and why we mesh so well, is because at the end of the day, that's where all this starts. Custom motorcycles starts and ends with two guys in a garage over a beer talking about the perfect motorcycle ever. And these guys get that like we do. I mean, 25 years of doing Cycle Source, we've always celebrated that garage culture, and this was an opportunity to work with a company that has as much passion for that as us, and bring something out to one person that's going to walk away with that motorcycle they were dreaming about in the garage. Hey, so from here we're going to be all over the country with this bike. If you see us out, feel free to come up and check it out in person. Until then, get out to garagebuild.com today for your chance to sign up to win this motorcycle. One person is going to ride away from Sturgis on this FXR.